No, we can't hear Adelaide. We can't.
Quiserem encará-la, tem a ver com um projeto chamado Tele-Encounters, que tem como parceiros Portugal, a Romania e a Espanha, Murcia, mais concretamente, e Buzău, na România. É um projeto que é cofundado ou cofinanciado pelo programa Creative Europe e tinha basicamente três partes. É baseado na imigração e o que é que as novas tecnologias fazem ou que diferença é que fazem hoje em dia em termos de aproximação daqueles que imigram e das famílias que ficam para trás. Foi então feito um teatro telemático entre a Romênia e a Espanha e para Portugal ficou a parte da criação de 5 curtas-metragens, também baseadas nessas histórias ou reais que foram recolhidas em entrevista e, portanto, na realização de 5 curtas-metragens em realidade virtual, nos VR films, de que eu percebo muito pouco, só estou aqui a fazer essa pequena introdução e que, portanto, quem produziu essas curtas-metragens foi uma empresa, os Creative Lemons, que são eles que vão fazer esta conferência e estaremos ligados então ao mesmo tempo quer para Espanha, quer para a Romênia e por isso é que esta pequena palestra será conduzida a partir de agora em inglês. Eu iria também fazer uma introdução para eles, mas a minha colega romena já o fez entretanto e portanto vamos seguir já para a apresentação. Temos aqui 3 elementos dos Creative Lemons que vão apresentar e depois então vão falar um pouco sobre a produção, a pré-produção, produção e pós-produção dessas então 5 curtas-metragens em R. Obrigada, mais uma vez. Okay, now I'm going to talk in English because it is needed and I was asked to. So Tele-Encounters is a Creative Europe program. It is a partnership between Portugal, Romania and Spain, and it is related to migration. And basically, the way that new technologies can approach or can mitigate these problems between the distance between the people that immigrate and those who stay back in their homeland. So it was divided into 3 different parts. First, we had to interview people that immigrated, that left people behind, and this whole sociological problem which is migration. Then it was made a dramatic theatre, and Portugal had to produce 5 short films, VR films, and that were made by a company called the Creative Lemons, and they are responsible for this small lecture. Will take place here in Portugal, but will be seen at the same time in Romania and in Spain. So from now on, the lecture will be in English, and I thank you for being here today. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sofia. I'm here in behalf of Vania. Vania Silva was the artistic director that worked with Creative Lemons for the making of these short films.
Good morning, I'm Daniel. I'm going to be part of Creative Lemons, co-founder and creative. And I'm going to be speaking about the technical aspects of the making of these short films.
Hi, good morning. I'm Cristina. I'm a videographer at Creative Lemons for the past 3 years, and I worked at these short films also with Daniel. And I'm also talking about the technical aspects of it. And mainly I was involved in this part of filming, sound design and post-production.
So to kickstart this talk, for those of you who don't know what 360 videos are, you have to imagine yourself inside of a sphere, like you're looking at the world, at a film inside the sphere. You can look in 360, you can look everywhere you want to, and you have an immersive feeling about what you're seeing. Unlike the usual movies you see in 2D, and you can choose what your vision is going to be on the things you are watching. The easiest way to explain what 360 videos or VR videos are is imagine you're looking at street view but in video. It's the fastest way you can see what the immersive videos are. So we're going to start by looking at what the work of casting and scripting was. Sofia is going to be talking about that, and then we're going to go through all the steps we went on making these short films. Of course, there's not enough time to go in depth everything we did, but we're going to try to.
Talking on behalf of Anya is going to be difficult, so I'm going to transmit what she wanted to say if she was here. When Creative Lemons invited Vanya for this project, her answer was almost yes, immediately, because she couldn't say no to work with to work with a theme that is so real, that is so inventive. There is nothing truer than taking someone's pain and make it our own. So when she analyzed the content of the interviews and the testimonies, there was the confirmation that she needed to do this work, and she wanted to do this work with Creative Lemons as a partnership, as the artistic part. So she watched all the interviews and all the testimonies that they were given, and when she done this, it was a very hard part for her, because of all the videos she had to choose 5. Of all the stories, of all the people's lives, she had to choose 5 to represent. And this part, she wanted to remain real. So she chose the ones, she chose 5, but she kept her focus on the real content, and she wanted to make it real also in these videos. So she defended this concept through all the process, the concept of making and keeping real the stories. Okay, I continue. So the work and research and visualization of the testimonies were the principal part to create and to think of what you wanted to do. Because when you have a real story, then you have to put it more beautiful so other people can look at it. So that was her main part, was to put another detail and put some other details and some specific words in the right place, in the right moment. And by this, she can reach her message, and she can reach what she wants to go through, and that was the principal part. The scripts retain a lot of the truth of the real story. So as she was reading and as she was making them, she always thinks of what the people would say and how it would really happen, to keep it as real as possible. So after this, there was the part of actually taking off the script and make it real where it happens in the spaces, in the sets, or in the street, or in houses, or everywhere else. So the choice of the spaces was not easy and very difficult to arrange, only because it was not the monetary part that was hard. It was only because we had to invade someone's privacy, someone's home, to make it as real as possible. So we could do it any place. But the best part of this project and of this work was that it was so real that it was filmed in real places, in real homes, with real people, with the real stories. So I think that the part that when she wanted to give this realness to everything, she chose from the most contemporary house, from the most rustic one. So they varied a lot of spaces, and they varied of what they wanted to say and how the couple reacts. If it was a couple from 50 years old, maybe they don't have a contemporary house, or they didn't have when they tried to immigrate or independence. So, the stories and the end of each story was chosen and was written to each place. So all the connections, all the artistic part is connected. It's not, I think, one thing and then I do another. No. Everything is connected from the beginning, from the thinking of how this couple should be, how these children should be, which picture is here, which picture is there, and how they walk, how they talk. And all this is related to where they are and where they want to be. I think this is the first part is this, is where they are and where they want to be and how to connect all that.
So, making the connection with the script writing and the casting is the technical part. I think before going through the technical aspects of it, and as you can see, the themes of the short films are strong emotional themes. And if we can, let's see if it's possible, we'll try to showcase two of the short films so you can really see what we're talking about in the script and the casting. And if you can see them afterwards, we can go through the technical part and use some examples for them. Let's see if will somebody can showcase.
Just a note here, it's not going to be a 360 full experience since you're not seeing this with goggles and the headphones. So keep in mind that, and if you're interested, in the end we will give you the name of the account on YouTube where you can see this and with the appropriate
Tag no YouTube. Teste.
Ok, está analistado. Isso vai ao Studio Data. Ok. Vírus. E volta a aparecer a lista. E é o primeiro da moda e é a terceira.
We have a Q&A moment for the end. If you have some questions here or whoever is watching us on live stream, you can make some questions throughout the
Não estava a ver.
Abre aqui e eu amo.
M-auziți? Da. Da.
So this is the lot.
Imigranți portughezi și cu familiile lor rămase acasă. Așa că ei au încercat să păstreze realismul situației. De asta au ales situații reale. Dați un pic mai încet. Nu construiți într-un studio, deci situații reale. În casele oamenilor și-au filmat. Nu neapărat în casele oamenilor intervievați, dar ca să înțelegeți procesul de lucru. Și despre asta au vorbit și cât de dificil a fost din punctul ăsta de vedere să apropie povestea de
comunidade. Para que eu vou perguntar? Como? Essa questão é uma fase muito importante do teu documento e tu não te podes distrair. Tens de ser forte, não? Capaz da ação. É para te dizer, mas estas coisas não podem escolher. Estas coisas não podem escolher a família. Já não sei se é claro. Não. Eu não sei claro. Estas coisas. Estas coisas.
Então, como estás? E a mãe como está? Eu vou ver se consigo ir mais vezes.
Como assim, Rodrigo? Já passou, pai. O que importa agora é que tu consigas aguentar.
Sim, sim, sim. Eu vou aguentar. Eu já consultei o médico, ele caminhou com um psiquiatra e também está imenso. 3 vezes não deu. Enfim. É nestas alturas que eu estou mais tempo doente que eu percebo que devia ter perdido.
Sim. O que foste para ouvir isso? Já passou, pai. Está tudo bem.
Vamos beijar para a mãe. Não, deixa estar, eu depois digo.
Sabes que mais? Acho que devíamos brindar os 3 meses só.
So now we're going to showcase just a short part of the short film, the Happy Family. We're not going to showcase the full length short film like this.
Daniel, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you could tell us a bit about the story of each film.
About the story?
Yeah.
Yeah, the best person to talk about the story will be Sofia. Next week, we worked with Vanya on the script.
So, about the Happy Family story, I worked with Vanya on the post after the script and everything was done. But about this family, I think that it's about a family that's everything. They have a small house and they have a small kind of opportunity, but then when a bigger opportunity of work comes, the father has to leave, and it's difficult to leave a mother with 4 children or 3. I'm not sure right now. I think there are 4. Because the oldest one has to take care and help the mother, and it's not as easy as it seems, and it forces it to grow a little bit too fast. So this story always ended up with the oldest son was a support for both mom and dad, because he understands the effort and the sacrifice that the father has to do for the family, but also he doesn't understand it well, because he wanted to be free and he wanted to have opportunity to be a young man also. So in the end, they understand and they forgive each other, but maybe there's some things that cannot be repaired.
Okay. We can now go through some of the technical aspects of the short films. Like you can see in 360 videos, there's nothing we can hide on set, or almost nothing. And we have to look at each scene with different kind of eyes, like we would on a regular film. We have some technical difficulties when going through this kind of videos, which are sound, how we're going to capture the sound in 360, all the details, all the speeches. We can't have a boom mic because it would show up on scene. Lighting, we can't do artificial lighting because we have no angle to work with. So we have to use natural light or artificial light, but that's going to be on set. So we have to use like decorative lighting to light the set and the cast of this film. I don't know if Cristina wants to go through some.
Yes, I can talk a bit more about this, especially about the sound. That was my main task in this duration. The sound, as Daniel said, was challenging for us. While we were filming, we had several lapel microphones on the actors, and we had to carefully hide all of them in their clothes, so you wouldn't see them. So this was the most challenging task for us, because unlike traditional films, we all have that the microphone over their heads or shot them. So we had to hide all of them and even use external audio microphones to record all the sounds, ambient sounds. So that was challenging for us. The other challenge for us was the matching between the actors' audios, because, as I said, we use lapel microphones, but in one actor, the lapel could be here and the other here, so the sounds wouldn't look alike. So that was something that we had to fix in post. Other thing that we had to be careful with was the contact between the lights, because we had to hear them under their clothes. So when they are touching too much, it will produce undesirable sounds. So we sometimes needed to do again the scene just over that little sound that's it's not right. We can notice that. So that, I think, was the challenges in the sound.
Yeah. On the pre-production, the preparation of the filming, we had to go through each location that the team with Sofia and Vanya chose to film in, not just to know the location before the film, but to do some tests. The aspects we talked about, the lighting and the audio, was something we had to test beforehand to really check if it would work, if we had enough light. On the 360 aspect, we had to see if we had enough room to work with, and we had to do some tests, because in 360 sometimes you have to compromise, because we're talking about a camera that has 6 lenses, and then you have to stitch every angle together like a puzzle, and you have to choose if you want to have more space and have a more seamless stitching between the cameras, the lenses, or if you're going to be right in front of the people who are talking in the close up in the scene. And you know, if you're going to be really close up in the scene, the chances are that the stitching is not going to be perfect, because you had less room to work with, less information to work with in the stitching part. So we really had to record every angle before having the actors, we had to simulate all the scenes, all that we were going to film with the actors. We had to do everything beforehand, do the test in the location, do the stitching. It's like we had to prepare two different kind of movies, one with no actors, and then having made the tests, we had everything to go on with the actors. Even camera positioning, because sometimes you can see this in this show, but we have one shot where we have the camera in a small kitchen table where there are 6 people around that table eating, talking. It's in the distance I am to this microphone was the distance they have to the camera. So that was one of the trickiest parts of the stitching and the preparation. I don't know if Sofia wants to talk about the pre-production of the casting choice.
Yes, I have some words to say about this project, about the casting. Because in this project there were involved 24 actors from 6 months old to 70 years old. So this was a very large project for Vanya to organize all these people and to have them prepared to tell stories. It was very complicated because when you choose actors with different ages, you also have to deal with their different difficulties. So and you have to try to make pairs between making a choice between their age, their nose, their face, the color of the eyes, the color of the hair, and these combinations can be very difficult and can lead to a misleading if they are not done right. So this work also required a lot of rehearsal, not only for the set film, but also for the emotional part, because as Daniela said, it was a really strong theme, and it is a really strong theme. So when you talk with children from 7 or 5 years old about this thing, it can get really hard for them to understand, or they can understand too well also about these problems. So you have to prepare them emotionally, not only physically to represent something, but also emotionally. Because an actor can only be real if he feels also. So we could not choose actors that wasn't feeling the real purpose of the project. So these 24 actors are also amazing human beings, and that is not the most part. The difficult part was to combine all of them, so they can be a family if they needed to be. Also, the rehearsals were very helpful, so the set could go smoothly and easily and fast, so the project could be concluded as fast as it could.
Okay. Just one more note about the production. We had to go through the choice of gear and cameras to work with, and we chose to work with the Insta360, mainly because of 2 aspects. One was the simplified workflow for stitching, because since we had a camera that had already a software included for the stitching that knew the distance between the lenses, it would work much faster to make a first cut, make the first stitch of the scene. The other aspect was the sound. Having a camera that could record 360 sound, binaural sound, to have a reference, because it's, in most of the cases, it's not the sound we use on the final cut of the video, but you have the reference of the sound in 360. So even having the microphones we wanted to, and do everything beforehand, before going to the typical editing process. This was done with a lot of trial and error as the stitching has all of these components, because you look at one frame, and the stitching is correct on one frame, but 5 seconds from there or 10 seconds from there, the stitching could be completely messed up. And we had to correct that interval. So on the editing process, I'm going to talk about that.
So the editing part. I feel that the editing part of the first cut was the simple task of the project. Aside of Daniel said, the stitching is a lot of working and is really complex, but the first cut was more simple because unlike traditional films, we don't have that sample within a scene. So here we really follow closely the scripts that were very well conceived. So we didn't have that flexibility to change or trade one scene or after another. So the first cut was a simple task to do. After the first cut, we added to the sound. We put all the sounds in a sequence and we matched them with the videos and synchronized all of them. And after this, we worked with the sound, the effects, the verbs, the noise reduction, the levels, everything that concerns the sound. As I said before, we used several microphones or amplifiers. So in this way, in post-production, this is really important. In post-production, we could replicate those sounds and make them coming from all over the directions. But just like in sound wasn't from that list. We had to get the sound from Stockholm to make the scene more real. That's what we want to achieve, a real scene, and that you feel that's the same way. Also, so what I'm trying to say here mainly is that we want the audience to interact with the content rather than just reading them. So the sound is a key important part, key part of these short films, alongside the position of the camera and the actors moving around it. So we really wanted the audience to almost give them the sense of participation. We want them to feel active and that they can make choices. So while are moving our heads, we can hear different sounds coming from different places. And this process is called audio spatial, and it only works if you're using headphones. So, as I said before, when you're seeing these short films after this conference, I recommend using the goggles and the headphones because the experience is much more richer. So, in the sound, we work with 360 binaural sound, as I said, and that's software developed in our editing software. And just want to add one thing, because we're here talking about a lot of technical aspects, but we want you to get the idea that the technical part of it is not the most important one. As I said, the experience, it's like the tonic is in the character dialogues, in the scenes, in the movie, in the heavyweight of these stories that we are representing here. So that was our main goal. The goal here was provoke your senses and your curiosity around the environment.
Just to add to what Cristina is saying, even in the production, while filming with the actors, we had to deal with the emotional part of the actors. Some actors, after some scenes, had to take 10 minutes just to cry and scream everything they had to do, because some of the aspects, the themes are tough, like I said, and for some of the actors, like Sofia said, those are personal themes. That's something that they're not just representing, but something they live, or something they're familiar with. They know someone who live that. So that's something really personal to them. And for us to be on the technical aspect and trying to be neutral whilst leaving some room to comfort the cast and give them their time to breathe and to really think about the scenes and be prepared to make the second take, the third. It was really tough to look at. Even for us, looking at one take, okay, we know that take was good, but we know we can get a better angle or a better representation from the cast. And ask someone that went through that and needs some time to breathe and make them go through that kind of nightmare again and again and again. It's really tough to be a part of. One of the other aspects of 360 production is we can't be on the same set, on the same location as the actors most of the time. We have to be looking at the scene through a monitor. We can't really we can't see the scene in 360. We can't be there seeing the scene happening in real time. We can't be there giving some feedback on the background. So it's like we're on the backstage of the production, because unlike on 2D film that we can be there on a hidden angle, there we can have it. So it was tough, not just on the emotional part of it for the cast, for the crew involved in the production, but even the technical aspects of it were a lot tricky. I think this concludes the overall presentation. We want to keep some room for the Q&A. I think that's the most important part of this. I don't know if Sofia wants to conclude.
I can say some more words because Vania is very sorry she couldn't be here today because this was a very important project for her and a very intense one for her and her actors because as Vania wanted us to know that all the process was very respected by the creative elements because as Daniel said, it was very intense from some actors. They cried, they laughed, they hugged, and that's the real feeling. That's when you get the real feeling. It's when you get in touch with your own and give to others. So about the words Vania wanted to read to all of you and to everyone who's listened, she wanted to thank to all immigrant and emigrant and thank a lot because all the feelings comes and goes, all the meetings and the missings and the words and the smiles, but also all the cries. And we can only be better persons and be more human if we know and you get in touch with these real feelings. And there is no better feeling than feeling more human. So I think this concludes what this project was to Vania. And of course, she wants to thank to all the cast and all the people that were behind it. And she's also once more very sorry she couldn't be here.
So, Q&A.
In English.
Yeah.
So you shed some light mainly on the technical aspect, and I appreciate it. It was a 7-minute, I believe, short film, and everyone that works on video knows that even a 7-minute video takes a lot to do. And with new technology and all the things that you have to go through, I appreciate that. But I want to make a question more towards the future of very personal. It is more of, it sounded to me like a more personal project towards the theme and the people it's worked with. And I believe that these types of emotional videos, movies, need a lot of time to breathe and to develop character and all that stuff. So what do you have to say about the future of cinema, the 360 cinema, in the way that longer length movies could be made and sort of different stories, or what kind of stories do you believe will be produced in the future?
Yes, me and Cristina were talking about that some days ago. I really don't see like a 2-hour full-length video in 360 being very much appealing to most of the people. Mostly because you probably don't want to spend 2 hours choosing what angles do you want to see in a movie. You want someone to choose the better angles for you to see. You just want to see the story developing around you. It's something to look at. When 5-minute videos, 10-minute videos, or even a 20-minute short video, and that's interesting in some films, some short films, documentaries. Seeing that in 360, it's really appealing. It's interesting. More than that, I really don't see, at least for now, much future in the full-length video being shown in 360, mostly because of the aspect that you have to be choosing the angles for 2 hours. It's, for me personally, I think that's too much. 20 minutes, I think it's my limit time for finding it appealing. If I see a documentary or a short film in 360 or VR, that's that length. It will, of course, like any film, it depends on the theme, if it's on the content, if it's appealing for me or not. But if it is that length, I might see it. If it's longer, probably not, because I think, okay, I'm going to be too tired after 20 minutes to be looking around for 2 hours. People mostly, when watching films, they are lazy. They want someone who has a better angle or know more about the story to show them to the story to them. That's why I don't see a full length.
No, I think that's what you said. We are used to being told what to see in the traditional movies, and I think that's the main aspects here we're talking about. The audiovisual contents is telling us what to do, what the angle, what the part, when to cut it. Okay, so I think that's changes. It's first has to happen in us, in the audiovisual way of looking at things. So I think this is going to be a long process in 360 movies. For long-term videos, short videos, I think it's a process. It's long too, but it's not that long. So I think the question is mainly concerned about that, the way that we perceive things. We are just to do what they want to. So we have to change that way of thinking.
Right, thank you.
So if anyone watching the live stream has some question, they can shout out.
Só um bocadinho. Estamos à espera de
Eles falam.
Okay, so do you have any questions from Romania? Aveți vreo întrebare? Dacă nu vă descurcați, dacă nu aveți curaj în engleză, traduc eu din română. Vreo întrebare despre filmele pe care le-ați văzut? I think for now we don't have questions, but yeah, if there's any question from Spain.
Yes, we can ask if your production is. Can you hear me first of all?
Yes.
Okay. What is the most important things in your production? If is the gamification of the movie or the narrative story?
I missed the first part. The most important
in the movie, in the 3060, is most important the narrative element of the movie or the gamification to convert the movie in something that is interactive for the audience.
Okay. I think, like with any movie, the most important part is narrative. It doesn't matter how you pick up the movie. If the narrative is weak, you're not going to make the movie stronger or better with the technical aspects of it. You have to have a good story, a good narrative to work with, because if you don't, you can put all the best sound, all the best effects, that you don't have a good story, and people will not be interested in watching it. So narrative, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Especially in 360 movies, I think the narrative in 360 movies, for me, I felt that it was the most important part of the films and not the technical part, not the software, the technology. I think the narrative is the most important part.
Now we have. Okay.
Would you think that a more immersive setting like fantasy one would benefit more from a 360 movie? Because I understand your intentions and I think they are good, but I personally believe that a more immersive genre like fantasy or SF would be more interesting and would benefit more from this type of movie.
I didn't understand the part of the question.
Which part? I can sum it up. I'm pretty much asking whether much more immersive genre, such as fantasy or science fiction, that creates a whole new world, wouldn't benefit more from a 360 movie?
So yeah, I agree that a sci-fi movie would definitely benefit from the VR experience. Of course, still it had to be like 2 hours watching a sci-fi movie with a lot of flashes and dynamic things happening around you. That might be a bit tiring to watch because some people are already complaining about some sci-fi movies as they are in 2D. So in 360, you have to be careful with that. Even when filming, we have to look at one aspect of the viewer, because we had some experience where we did some promotional videos in 360 where we did some aerial shots in 360, and while some people find that really interesting and dynamic, for some of the people that was just scary and nauseating. So you have to look at some of the aspects of it, and sci-fi movies could be trouble in working with that, because okay, you could benefit with that immersiveness in a fantasy world, definitely, But if you overdo it, that might cause some confusion to your brain. So really, I think that could be beneficial, but with some attention to the viewers, the details.
And it would also necessitate a lot more work than a realistic movie as well, right? Okay, thank you.
I don't know if you're talking about
thank you.
Specifically about the short films we are showing here, but I felt that in these particular films, the rhythm of the films, the heavy weight of the stories, didn't ask as much of that, like changing of the angle. If we are in a small place and we have our camera here, it doesn't make any sense or much sense to move it like 2 feet away. So that will cause confusion in the audience, and the rhythm and the scene itself didn't ask for that. So I think in these particular films, that immersive kind of experience, we tried our best to keep that, but in that way that we were talking about, it wasn't fitting, it wasn't suitable for the short films. So.
And in the end, we were talking about something that's artistic. So that really depends on who's making it, the vision of who's making the movies, the vision of who's writing the scripts, and even in the end part, the vision of who's watching. There are some people who's going to love it. There are some people who's going to hate it. That's how it is. That's hard.
Okay, are there any more questions from Romania or Spain?
Actually not, thank you.
Yeah, we don't have any questions. Any more questions? Yes. So no questions from Romania.
Okay. So can we follow from here in our audience, Portugal? Is there any question? Okay, we have someone.
Okay, hi. So you were talking about the rhythm of the movies and how it was enunciating. Would you agree that gradually, if new movies would have a more quick rhythm, and gradually people will start getting used to it? Like, for example, 50 years ago, if somebody would watch a regular movie from now, an action movie, they will feel nauseated. Would you agree that in the future maybe we could have those sci-fi movies with all the action? So
it's not the rhythm that I was saying that could cause some nauseous. It was the capture part of 360, having some moving cameras, aerial shots. If you watch that in 360, for some people, that's not yet. We did some promotional movies in 360 that were just aerial shots, and I loved it. But I showcased to some people, and some people were scared because they were up in the air with nothing, and they could see all around. And for some people, it was nauseating because of not the rhythm, but because of the movement of the cameras. Because they were standing still, and the camera was moving while they could watch in 360, and their brain was like, no, this can't be happening. That's the aspect I was talking about. About the rhythm, for these things, for these shorts, like Cristina said, it wouldn't make much sense to have a fast-paced cut throughout the movies. But in some cases, there are some 360 films or promotional videos that are fast-paced and they work. That's not something I'm against, and I wouldn't really see their work. Not as fast as regular movies, because for us, for example, if we're working on a regular film, we have some scenes we cut that have less than 1 second, for example. You just have a flash, you see it, and go through another scene, and then flash another scene. In 360, if you do that, you can really use the 360 part of it. You don't have time to look around. So you have to give some more time for people to look around. For example, a fast cut scene in 360 would be, for example, like 4 or 5 seconds for a scene. Less than that, I really think that you're not using the 360 part. You're using a regular video. You could be facing a wall when the scene begins because you choose what you're seeing. And in the editor part and who's making the movie, we can only guess or can only choose what you see in the first cut, in the first scene that appears on film, because any other cuts that comes after that, we can only guess where you'll be looking at. But you might be looking at a completely different angles.
Just question. In the future, how would distribution work? Like we have cinemas for regular films. What would be the future platforms for 360 movies? Like Netflix or something?
You have some technologies that are emerging. You have virtual reality and augmented reality that already are working well in some areas, and you have mixed reality. That's something that combines the both aspects, the augmented and virtual reality. And that's becoming more affordable and more mainstream. Of course, it's not something as commercial as regular movies for now, and it's not going to be in the near future. But once technology has a way to make that, make a way for you to see 360 movies that are not using bulky goggles to use them, using like regular goggles or just having a projection that can simulate what you're seeing and assume your movements or eye movements to present that. When the technology reaches that part, that's when I really feel that could be mainstream, and then we can think about distribution in Netflix or any other production. Before that, it's going to be...
Sorry, Daniel, I'm going to interrupt you for 2 or 3 seconds because now we are going to say goodbye to our Romanian and Spanish audience because they have classes. And we will continue in Portugal, and now we can speak in Portuguese if it is easier for you. So thank you, Romania, and thank you, Spain. See you soon. Thank you.
Bye, Romania. Bye, Spain. Please watch the movies with goggles.
Se calhar é melhor fácil, acho que a gente percebe português. É mais fácil.
Bom, temos aí 4 chineses.
Sim, mas...
Agora, português?
Português, se calhar pode continuar em português.
Eu acho que consegui responder. Acho que sim. Obrigado.
Mais uma questão. Eu queria adicionar duas notas. Sabes que eu sou especialista na coisa assim. Não sou especialista, mas eu gostava de ouvir a audiência, já estou aqui, gente que domina estas técnicas todas, eu quero vir dominar, mais vocês já fazem disto da vossa vida. Eu comparo um bocadinho o 360, ou menos numa ótica de utilização no cinema, e é disso que estamos aqui a falar, um pouco como aconteceu com o 3D. Estou a falar no cinema também. Ou seja, há 10, 12 anos por aí, era mesmo uma moda. Ou seja, toda a gente queria produzir um filme e fazer um filme em 3D. Aquilo aqui é. Acho interessante. Ok, aquilo da gravação, só por isso. Toda a gente queria usar o 3D. E eu sempre achei, como espectador, que aquilo não ia ter futuro. Sempre achei. E agora parece que tenho razão, e não sei se a maioria achou Eu não consigo, quer dizer, consigo ver, e a mesma coisa com o 360, em alguns contextos. Por exemplo, num parque de atrações é espetacular ver uma curta-metragem de 10 minutos ou algo assim, a 360 ou a 3D. E até 4D, 5D, com sensações e com aquelas coisas todas. Agora, um filme de 2 horas, sinceramente, já não parece que venha a surtir grande efeito.
Aí tem que ver com a tecnologia e com a distribuição que estávamos a falar. Mesmo 3D, se a tecnologia não tivesse a necessidade de ter óculos para ver um filme em 3D, e se o 3D fosse agradável à vista, de uma forma que, ok, conseguimos realmente ver as coisas assim no ecrã, aí se calhar as coisas eram mais agradáveis e mais aceitas. Agora, quando se tenta forçar uma tecnologia só pela tecnologia em si, que ainda assim pode ter umas vantagens, mas no geral causa alguma confusão na maior parte das pessoas,
não sei quando é que chegaremos aí, e vai ver, eventualmente com o Romano, não sei o quê, pode-se pôr as coisas.
Devemos chegar.
Pronto, devemos chegar, exatamente. E a outra nota era sobre uma outra questão que foi respondida e que é mais ou menos romanceado, ou seja, é verdade, toda a gente diz, um diretor ou um realizador, um produtor, o que seja, a gente que trabalha no cinema vai sempre dizer que sem uma boa história não há filme que tenha sucesso. Nós sabemos que isso não é verdade. Não é verdade. Porque todos nós assistimos a filmes que são máquinas de fazer dinheiro. E se fizeram dinheiro, atenção, máquinas de fazer dinheiro sem história. É isso que eu quero dizer. Porque usaram outros argumentos. Estamos a falar aqui de grandes máquinas de marketing. Ou seja, para além de uma boa história, de um bom filme, tecnicamente muito bem feito, não consegues chegar ao público se não tiveres uma grande distribuidora atrás e uma grande campanha de marketing atrás. Gostamos de ver o que disse o Luís, porque é verdade, a história pode contar, mas também é verdade que sem história conseguimos ter sucesso. Há vários casos.
Mas aí, lá está, eles contam uma história, simplesmente contam uma história, num trailer. O tempo que parece que está ali tudo e depois, se calhar, falta ali alguma coisa. Não sei isso. A parte do marketing também é contar histórias. Acaba por ser isso. Agora, se depois no produto final a história está bem contada, se tem toda a qualidade que as pessoas querem, já outra não. Agora, é claro que
mas se nós formos num filme que toda a gente quer ver, eu lembro de 2. Acho que são marcos, pelo menos, que eu me lembro. Um é muito jovem, é mais novo que outro, que é o Titanic, e curiosamente é outro do mesmo realizador, que é o Avatar. Portanto, esses são 2 marcos, acho eu, filmes que toda a gente queria ver. Eu lembro para ver o Titanic, também queria ver o Titanic, quis ver. Eu tive que estar não sei quanto tempo à espera para conseguir ver. Não sei se foi você. Também não havia os shoppings como agora, tanta oferta de cinema, etc. Mas, lá está. Acho que a história é importante, mas só pela história ninguém vai ver o filme. Se não houver algo, pelo menos nos dias de hoje, algo que o chame a ver.
Sim, isso é certo. Cada vez mais a parte de promoção, de distribuição, marketing, é tudo, seja o filme bom ou mau, sem essa componente não consegue chegar a toda a gente.
Por não! Nós temos muito a ideia de que um bom filme é um filme que tem sucesso bilheteiro. Se não tiver sucesso bilheteiro, obviamente tem que ser, porque tem que ser o sucesso bilheteiro, vai pagar esse filme e vai depois até motivar que outros venham a ser feitos. Mas obviamente que há tendências, há muitos maus filmes.
Mas mesmo tendo essa questão presente, a tendência, mesmo para quem sabe isso, é essa, quando olha para as coisas, aquele filme parece muito interessante, parece um bom filme. Independentemente de uma pessoa ter conhecimento da sua vida.
É verdade. Mais ou menos.
Só aqui, no Brasil, o professor estava a falar de uma escola, não é preciso ter uma história, não sei não sei o que é a respeito. Isto é, eu acho que 360 é capaz de funcionar em filmes com cenários incríveis, tipo o Erdman, por exemplo. Mas pronto, se se pudessem desenvolver um bocadinho só, se acham que se calhar uma maneira diferente de abordar os 360 poderia beneficiar, ou seja, ser uma coisa se calhar mais ou mais tentar emergir o espectador no ambiente e se podia fazer alguma coisa sem ser simplesmente corte, isso vai dar a oportunidade ao espectador para explorar o que está à volta.
Sim, eu falando pessoalmente, já fiz esta análise pessoalmente, eu acho que o 360 funcionaria muito bem em documentários. E essa questão do corta-corta pode funcionar muito bem em documentários onde tu podes escolher o teu caminho. Por exemplo, acho que toda a gente viu na Netflix o último episódio do Black Mirror, onde tens os caminhos onde podes escolher. Pronto, mas dá-te essa opção. E acho que o 360 é quase isso, também estamos a dar essa opção. Eu acho que o 360 é um documentário com esse tipo de opções de escolhas, acho que poderia funcionar.
Aí acaba-se por encontrar o que a tecnologia está a dar a alcançar com uma mixed reality, que era o que eu estava a falar, que é a mistura entre realidade aumentada e realidade virtual. Que é tu poderes estar imerso num ambiente virtual, mas ao mesmo tempo, se calhar, teres não só o poder de ver à volta, mas de tomar decisões e de andar e de navegar pelo espaço. Que acaba por ser quase o próximo passo do 360. Enquanto que no 360 tu estás preso dentro de uma esfera e vês o que te derem a oportunidade de ver à volta. Se entrares num campo um bocadinho mais à frente, tu começas a poder navegar dentro desse ambiente, começas a poder escolher, começas a poder usufruir disso. Enquanto estamos a falar em termos de ambientes, isso como qualquer filme, quanto mais interessante for o ambiente, o cenário ou o que se está a passar à volta, mais interesse há de o representar, seja num filme 360 ou num filme 2D. Claro que num filme 360, assim, em termos de paisagem e ambiente à volta, for interessante, acaba por ser mais contemplativo. Tanto pode ser contemplativo como pode estar tens alguns comentários de jornais que estás no meio de um ambiente de guerra. Assim, caos completo, barulho toda à volta. E é quase o oposto do estás no meio de uma floresta, a contemplar a beleza da floresta, mas ainda assim tens interesse de ver tudo o que se passa à volta. O grande erro que se comete muitas das vezes com o 360 é pegar em cenários comuns que seriam interessantes num filme normal, em que tens aquele cenário, aquele retângulo na realidade, e assumir que isso vai ser interessante em 360. Ok, aquele ângulo é, mas em todos os outros. Por isso é que muitas das vezes 360 é mais visto em documentários, em filmes quando realmente se passa alguma coisa à volta, em eventos que há coisas a acontecer toda à volta. Porque de resto, poderias tirar partido, ok, começas no início a navegar, mas depois acabas por te centrar só na área de interesse.
Então, se calhar, o próximo passo é andar de, digamos, scripts e cenários e histórias interessantes.
E já, tu tens muito material, já, principalmente na área de documentário. É onde tu acabas por ter já muito material feito na área de 360 com bastante interesse. Acho que está bem.
Quando é que estava a falar?
O senhor Laura tem uma pergunta? Não. Só não deixa que você.
Quantos de vocês já têm prática de filmar 360? Não, é que nós temos os alunos, sobretudo do terceiro ano e mestrado, sim. Vocês enganaram. Não, podiam, com a vossa conta, ter encontrado uma câmara de 60 e andar por aí a fazer. Já não estou assim um bocado.
É assim, desde que vocês têm câmaras
pequenas,
câmaras pequenas para fazer as primeiras experiências em cena são incríveis.
Só que estes são do segundo e são mais os do terceiro e do mestrado que já fazem isso. Outro é.
Cada vez mais a tecnologia vai para a 360 vai facilitando e deixando mais margem à área viva e preocupação com a
novamente é a parte do documentário ou, sei lá, é para suportar sites de autarquias que querem mostrar um bocadinho o que é que eles aconselham e tal, é mais por isso que no cinema. Embora?
Sim. Obrigada por terem estado aqui. Eu só vou só, já estou um bocadinho devagar. Mas não, o que eu lhes queria pedir, por favor, e que me perdoem, digamos assim, a falta de cuidado na folha, porque eu esqueci de trazer as folhas de assinatura e eu precisava que vocês, por favor, me deixassem um nome, um contacto de e-mail e uma assinatura. Nós somos uma Câmara Municipal, portanto nós não vamos mandar vídeos de promoções nem nada disso, é mesmo só uma questão de ficar registado para as pessoas que estiveram aqui nesta pequena palestra. Queria também, claro, agradecer aos Creative Lemons por terem estado aqui connosco. Estamos mais ou menos em cima da hora, portanto acho que vamos dar oportunidade então aqui a sessão. Se não se importassem passar no local por aqui para deixar
Mas queres que me fizeste hoje? Nós estamos a prova ou queres ajudar?
Já.
Eles estavam a ver na mesma coisa.
Sim, eu estava a ver esta imagem.
Deixa-me só cortar. Abriste muito porque falta aqui os 40 gajos de Luís. Estão a ver? Deixa-me dar um respeito ao Luís.
Obrigada.